And here we go again. Today I'd like to answer a question I was asked several times throughout the last year, and the question was, where do I get my programs from, which I demonstrate, the free ones, usually free programs. And the simple answer is I'll show you. No problems there. If I go to my browser, then you can see I have several places where I go to. Some not as often as others. I mean, Softtronic here is great as a good source for programs. We can look down the list here. We can see one or two programs which people might like to use. Abbey Word, for example, we've demoed that on past occasions. Quite a few here which you might recognise the names of, and they're all free. It's a quite simple process. Download them. With Softtronic, I do warn people that occasionally you may find there is pups or potentially unwanted programs which can sneak in. Now, whether that's Softtronic being a little bit uncareful or whatever, I don't know, but occasionally I have had more trouble from Softtronic, I regret to say, than anywhere else when I download a program. But there are lots of choices here, and they're not all full of pups, etc. There's only the odd one or two which may have a pup attached. Whether that comes in through the internet, I don't know. And I've never taken it's that much little bother, because you run your malware bytes on these programs when you download them, and you'll find that you can soon get rid of any pups that are in there. So here we are, loads of different names that we can use. Some we recognise, as I said before, some we recognise because we've run demonstrations on them on their own right, and some of them really good programs. Okay, so there's a very brief look at Softtronic. Free PDF to JPEG converter. I wonder if it works the reverse, because just recently I needed to change a couple of JPEGs into a PDF, which I ended up doing online, which was no problem. OpenOffice Writer, that's a free download. You see in the text here that's free download. A lot of it, if you're not careful, I mean, I say a lot of it, some of it would be better. Free downloads, but they're only 30-day use or even 7-day use on one occasion. So just tread carefully. They're all good programs. They're all easy to use. The object of today's demonstration really is so that you guys out there can have a look through these pages and maybe offer a suggestion to me on what you would like demonstrated. Like, for example, if we have a free driver scout here where my pointer was when I said that, if you'd like to see that particular program demonstrated, drop us an email or a text or a message or a request, whatever. I'll give you an email address. In fact, I'll try to overlay the email address on the video when I've finished creating it. So just for those who are interested, if we go to open with photos, and there it is. There are YouTube at hallbase.com. And if you go there and leave a message, then I'll pick on it, and the most popular ones I'll do demonstrations on. Okay, so this is, as I say, Softtronic, a good source of free programs. Like all things that you download from the internet, tread carefully. Don't just take everything as read. It's not always the same. The next place I go to is quite a popular one, actually. It's called Tom's Guide, and this is where we can get hold of loads of software for iPhone, iPad, internet security, Office, images and graphics, audios and MP3, video, Android. Whoa, let's have some more. Utilities, finance, leisure and useful applications, education, personalization, Windows Phone, cell phone and smartphone, development, systems and distribution, and of course the ever popular drivers. If you ever have trouble with your computer and you need a new driver, this is a good place to come. It's all checked for viruses, but again, I do say that occasionally with viruses and pups, potentially unwanted programs, they do sneak in under the wire sometimes as you're downloading. That's my theory anyway. Anyway, let's have a look at one little group here. Utilities, probably the one I come to more often. Again, it's a very similar layout to Softtronic, and it has some good stuff. I like this particular site because if you look here, total downloads 839, right? That's Partition Wizard. Now if you've got a lot of space on my drive, let's just have a quick look at one of my drives, and I'll show you what I mean for things like that. This is my C drive here, and I don't keep a lot on it, just in bare necessities, and there's a gigabyte. So really I could do with maybe chopping that in half, or even into 4 quarters, I should say, and just use 3 of them for other storage. But for the time being, I've got another 1 terabyte drive where I keep web stuff and junk dump. You've all seen the junk dump before. I've had comments on my junk dump. Everything that's hasn't got a home goes in there. As you can see, it's the fullest of all the drives. So yeah, if we're using a partition wizard, then we could chop up that drive. That may be a good demonstration for another meeting or another video, how to use a partition wizard. Everything which I've demoed, I use that. The icon is down here, everything. I use that on a regular basis because it is so fast and so quick to get the files you're looking for. And let's face it, we're all after saving time these days. WizTree, that's a handy program. I have used that and looked at it. In fact, I was going to do a demonstration on it, but I haven't learned how to use it properly yet, so I'll just hold back for a month or 2 on that one. Then we'll have another look. You bear in mind there, I'll just zoom to the bottom very quickly. This is page 2 of 127 pages. Now this is just utilities. Okay, let's go back up to the top here and look through fruit juice. I'd be wary. You see, this is where I don't know if it's sixth sense or just common sense. Inject new life into a batter of your Mac laptop with fruit juice. Now basically what they're saying is you can rejuvenate a battery, not a batter, a battery. So they really ought to check the spellings and that sort of thing. Now if they can't be bothered to check the spellings, what is the quality of the software? They need to look into things like that and get it put right. So pzip is just another download tool, but as you can see, a lot of these bulk file changer, you can, like if you've got a load of photographs that you want to rename, that's an ideal package for it. Files and folders can be changed very, very quickly, and it's good. You know, it's a nice quick program as well. Loads of other ones. Let's jump a few pages. Let's go to page 6. I don't know what's on page 6. Driver Magician, a comprehensive drive search engine, etc. 194 times it's been downloaded. Argos Monitor, monitoring temperatures and the status of several system components such as CPU, hard drive temperatures, and graphics cards and hard disk drives. It's not a big file. You can download it fairly quickly. It has been downloaded 1,260 times, so that is not going to be too bad at all. That's always a good indication, because if people don't like it, if it's not particularly good, they won't download it. Simple as. GPU Z, software utility to monitor and give its user information about the system. Loads of good stuff here that you can have. Hardware monitors. And these are all free programs. Most of them here are free, and it will say in the little bit of text that it's a 30-day trial or a 7-day trial. So it's always worth reading. Again, Win Utilities free. That's different utilities for Windows. Downloaded 2,236 times. So it can't be that bad. Either that or one person's had a lot of problems. What else have we got? Windows Program and Installer. Those are always handy to have a second uninstaller on your system rather than just relying on the one that's built into Microsoft. I think the ones that's built in tend to leave a lot of rubbish behind. You can always take away stuff after you've uninstalled something else. So don't sleep. Things like that, 2,269 times that's been downloaded, and basically it's freeware utility software for Windows-based PCs designed to prevent the shutdown, hibernation, termination or restart. There are settings in Windows that you can do that. You don't need a program to download to prevent it restarting and turning off. My computer doesn't turn off. I put it on in the morning, I turn it off at night time. Rarely does it ever do anything in between time. Password managers, XP. Now is that just for XP or is that for any other operating system? I don't know. You have to take your chances on things like that. Basically, if you download a program for XP that's not designed to run in a 64-bit environment, then Windows will tell you quite quickly that it's not fit for that purpose. So we can go on. Load of stuff. Bro 6, I've actually demonstrated that with a colleague here in the club, where we set it up one day and actually communicated, same as Facebook really, through Bro 6. With the added advantage I can share his screen, he could share my screen. Great stuff. So there we go. This is just Tom's guide. Another thing about Tom's guide, which while we're here I can have a quick look. If you go into product reviews, you can go to deals, how to and forums, and you can also just nip to Tom's guide itself. And in Tom's guide, if you want to know something about latest technology, or you want a bit of information about your computer, this is a great place to search. You can find out stuff about like the Galaxy 10 versus the Galaxy 9, biggest changes to expect, rumors, everything you need to know. It's got quite a comprehensive list of latest technology, which if you want to know something about what's coming out, what's the future of, or anything like that, then go for it. Go to Tom's guide and have a look. I have this quite a lot. Watch this next, where it says error loading playlist. Basically that's because the browser it blocks adverts automatically, and adverts, I'm afraid, are getting more and more annoying as every day goes by. And while we're on that subject, I think a lot of these advert manufacturers, they must think the general public are moron. One that comes to mind straight away is when two girls put washing up liquid in a baked bean soaked dish. I mean, if you've ever sat and watched that advert, it is so insulting to normal people that if you put normal water in a dish and shake it the way they shake it, and heaven's sake, the bean juice will come out. Not leave half a tin of beans behind after the bad sample didn't work. Never mind, I'm going to get on my high horse. Maybe I ought to do a little feature every week about bad adverts. That would be good. Anyway, my next place I'm going to visit is a place called freewarefiles.com. Now, the names of all these will appear in the text at the end of this demonstration. You can go to Tom's Guide and go to Freeware Files and Softtronic. This is the place I use more than anything else to find new programs to investigate and to demonstrate. We have how-tos and the news about things, much the same as Tom's Guide keeps you informed on the various news. Antivirus, audio and video, business and organization, desktop enhancements, developer tools, drivers, essential software, games, graphic and designs, home education, internet, mobile and smartphone tools, which is a newer addition, I just might add, networking, online games, programming, screensavers, security and privacy, and the ever faithful utilities there. Don't mix up utilities with essential software, because essential software could be simple things like your antivirus program or your malware program. They'll all be in there. But let's have a look at utilities just to go through. In utilities itself, we can go through the categories here. I'm not going to read them all out, but you can go to administration and admin, file management, startup management tools, system information, monitors, compression, zips and unzips, desktop utilities, which is, if you just pop back a page, you can see desktop utilities and essential software. They all cover the same sort of thing. So if you're in one section and you haven't judged it correctly on what you're looking for, don't worry, because a lot of these are repeated in a common sense way, that if you think, oh, hang on a minute, I've looked in the wrong bit, as long as it's roughly right, you'll find the programs you're after. It's really good. And at the bottom of each of the start pages, you have view the top 100 utility downloads. Right, and there we go. 100 different programs there, or different versions of programs as well, it would be true to say. So there we are, loads and loads of different things. Commander, lots of commanders. Originally I used to use a program called Norton Commander. That was from Peter Norton's stable, and I used to really like that. Let's just click on that, have a look. Basically what we get is 2 columns. We can move anything from that column into there and vice versa. We can add programs, add files, add or delete files. We can do a comparison to see how 2 folders are the same. So if you've got a backup drive like I have, I can compare the contents of my drive and what I've backed up. Just the click of a button. Very good program to do. Might do a demonstration on that later on in the year. But there we are. That's the Commander. Just one simple program which we've just picked out there. Loads of those. Loads of different commanders as well. So just be careful what you search for. I have to say that with this site, let me just go back. Let's go to Commander again. If you decide you're going to download it, click on the download now button. You get an external download link. That'll take you to the website where this is being marketed from. If it doesn't work, you can report a broken link. If you get spyware stuck into your computer because of this download, you can report that. And if it's not free, in other words, if you can use it for 7 days and then you've got to buy it, then report that, because they want to know. Very good communications with the authors of this site. I have reported links before. I've found stuff which is not free before, and I've found spyware. All you have to do is report it. They will look into it almost without fault. They will look into it, and they'll get back to you. If you give them your email address, they will get back to you and send you a thank you message, and also the fact they're looking into that to find out what went wrong. So there we are. That's basically what we're looking at today. Oops. You click on my browser. There's the freeware files. There's the downloads for Tom's Guide, and also Softtronic, the old favourite there. If you've looked through freeware files and you haven't found what you need, and you've been through Tom's Guide, then come to Softtronic and do a search there. You'll probably find it there. But as I say, Softtronic, and I don't know whether it's just reputation from the past or whether it's still current, and I must admit I've never had major problems. As I say, I've had a few pups in the past, but invariably it's just purely just the little odd program that gets stuck in there, or maybe you want to try this as well. You know what I mean? It's nothing dangerous, nothing computer threatening, but certainly it's all good stuff. There we are. That's the end of the little tour that I'm giving. The programs there, freeware files, downloads, Tom's Guide, and Softtronic. All good places to get your software from. I would ask people who are listening to this video to have a look through those files. Go through them. If you find something you think, oh, I'd love to know how that works, then email me at youtube@hallbase.com. I will get the messages if you send it to that address, and like everything else, I can't do anything if I don't know what you want. Thank you very much for listening. Please remember to subscribe on good old YouTube when you can do. If you go to the bottom and you have a look, you can subscribe by hitting that button there. You can like it. The dislike button doesn't work. Well, maybe it does, but maybe people are just generous and don't hit it too often. But anyway, that's the site. Send me a message. Message is very easy. If you go to a demonstration, just a simple one there, there is nothing stopping you just passing a message on and let me know what you want to see. It's all about what you want. So there we are. We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for listening. Please remember to subscribe. And in case I haven't said it before, Happy New Year to everybody. Bye for now.